Hey, what's up guys? Zach Calhoun here, co-founder of cloudpano.com. Today, we're going to talk about some important content to really how to structure your business and how to create offers that maximize the customer value that you are targeting. So whenever we build a business, right, there's a time period where we start off giving a certain amount of value and we learn things about our customers and then offer them better products or better services and increase the price. So we offer more value and make more money, right? Very simple concept. A lot of businesses understand that within every customer, let's say out of 100 customers or out of 100 prospects, maybe you have 10 customers, out of those 10 customers, 3 of them want to buy more, okay? This is a very important concept that you need to understand as a digital media entrepreneur. And listen, I'm gonna do my best to cover this today. This concept is called the value ladder. And man, it will revolutionize the way you think about how you structure your pricing, how you structure your offers, how you structure your business. And I think that it may change your life today. Hopefully it does. So I'm gonna kind of roll through this and I may jump around some. So try to stick with me, stay focused as I don't sometimes. But be thinking about your business and the offers that you give to your clients and the value and the pricing that you go about in your particular business. And of course, be thinking about too, where do you see these examples in the local marketplace? So this is called the value ladder. It's not a Zach Calhoun original concept, but we're gonna apply it to virtual tour business owners today. We're gonna apply it to the digital media entrepreneur, which is really what you are, okay? So, value ladder. Okay. First, I'm gonna go through there's a truck going by. First, I'm gonna go through the structure of the offers. Then, we're gonna plug in some actual examples, okay? So, on this, right here, on this axis, we have price, okay? On this axis, we have, we'll put V for value, okay? Makes sense. What we have right here is what we're going to call our core offer. Okay, core offer. What we have right here is called upsell. What we have right here is called the profit maximizer. Okay, maximizer. And typically down here we have something called a tripwire or a free thing. So I'm going to put free thing. Okay. Now, we're going to actually jump off of the virtual tour example first, and we're going to jump onto a very well-known business that is where I first learned this concept. It's Starbucks. Okay, so Starbucks, I go there all the time. I get coffee there all the time. They actually have a value ladder. Okay, and a lot of good businesses have a value ladder, and it goes up and up and up, and it matches the particular customer type, right? So if you think about it, when you go to Starbucks, what's their core offer? Well, their core offer is coffee, right? Coffee, or maybe it's a special coffee or some type of specialty drink, right? $4 or $5 coffee. And then what do you also notice when you're there? Well, they also sell espresso machines. Did you know that? They sell lots of other products that are much higher ticket. And they even sell franchises, right? You could buy a Starbucks franchise. So you have these different offers at different price points. And as they offer more value, they increase the price, right? Well, what's the free thing at Starbucks? I was trying to think this through and I realized, you know what, it's free Wi-Fi, a free place to sit down, a free atmosphere to work at. And they are all full. I've been all over Houston, Texas, and every Starbucks is full of people working, relaxing. Hey, I'll get a coffee while I'm here. Hey, I'll get a pumpkin bread too. I like their pumpkin bread. So that's a good example. Right? Same thing with McDonald's, right? That's where I first learned this as well. We have the core offers, the hamburger. You get your French fries as well. You can also, would you like to get upgrade the size of the fries, upgrade the size of the drink? Yeah, sure, why not? That's always there, right? And those things increase the customer value. They make the math better. Because you're in a math game. You are in a competition with your competitors, but you're also in competition with your time, and it's a math game to maximize the dollar per hour, okay? It's very, very important. Okay, so how do we have a really tangible example for you, the virtual tour entrepreneur or the digital media entrepreneur, right? Let's discuss this. And you have room in here. So there's actually some other areas I want to show you, but you have room in here to customize this based on your business and your skill set. And sometimes it may require you to increase your skill set. It's just part of the game sometimes, right? To offer higher value and to get up to those profit maximizers. There's also another concept I want you to pay attention to. It's also something called continuity, okay? So a continuity type program is a monthly program where someone pays you monthly, right? And they subscribe to your service, subscribe to your product, subscribe to you in some way, and they pay you over and over and over again, and you do nothing. That's what continuity is. The value's up front, and they pay to have access, or the value's up front, and they pay to continue using the tool or product or service, right? So, if you think about this, what are some ways locally you can build out a value ladder? Because if you have one built out, you can then figure on 20% of these customers will take the upsell, and 20% of those customers will take your profit maximizer, right? Let's use that number, okay? And we'll have some space over here for numbers here in a moment, okay? And I'm going to use an example that I think would be a lot of fun, and I've done it before, so it's very practical. Okay, virtual tour entrepreneur. Well, what are you offering? What's your core offer? A lot of times the core offer is the virtual tour itself, right? It's not the profit maximizer or the upsell. It is, hey, we give VR solutions, full 360. I would love to show you an example. Are you available? Like, yeah, that sounds really cool. What's the price, right? Okay, so if your core offer is maybe overpriced, you're going to have a hard time upselling or profit maximizing anybody because you don't get that first transaction. So sometimes this lower tier transaction makes it much easier to get the higher tier one. I can show you, I'm going to show you multiple examples actually. So I'm going to write these down just so I remember them. A guy named Ron, a friend of mine, and Eric, a client of mine. Okay? So a lot of times folks will come in and pitch a virtual tour, or they come in and just pitch commercial photography. Oh yeah, and by the way, we have a really cool virtual tour service, full VR. Would you like to check it out? And of course, you host it on Cloud Pano, right? And you use your own domain name, so they come back to you as they have needs, and you can upsell them on something else. So a lot of folks offer drone services, or their upsell is still photography, or sometimes their core offer is still photography, and their upsell is virtual tours. That's very common in the real estate space. Makes sense, right? Every home, everywhere, needs real estate photographers to come in and make the home look nice so it sells, right? But everyone who wants to really extract the most they can out of their local digital media company, ask what else you got? What's some other tech trends you got, right? And sometimes if you're getting 5 houses a day, adding 2 of these upsells and virtual tours just makes economical sense, right? It's just an easy upsell. 360 tours are simple upsell. But, and if you're let's say you're focused on Street View, you would go around to businesses and say, hey, we focus on Google Street View. It is like for sure going to help your business, yada, yada, yada. You have a price share dedicated to it. Your upsell is a hosted tour. We discussed that before, right? Hosted tour, or your profit maximizer is maybe you add in some photography, add in drone footage, right? Or what a lot of smart entrepreneurs do on Cloud Pano is they have the core offer virtual tours, and they have a continuity program where if you want to keep your tour hosted on Cloud Pano over the long term, it's $50 a month. I've seen providers do this at $100 a month per location for commercial apartment complexes, and that guy's crushing it. He's doing it very, very well. He also charges $5K for his biggest service, his profit maximizer, right? So those are totally possible if you can offer the value, right? So if you do have a single shot camera, you better make sure it's the best one you have. Possibly you can extract the most beauty you can in that image, so that when you go to offer other upsells, it makes sense. If you go to shoot more spaces, those are your upsell, right? So sometimes your upsell is just doing more of the same thing, and that's okay. But a lot of times folks will say, what else you got? And it's easier to sell something a little bit different than it is to sell the same thing just for a higher price, right? So I'm gonna try to keep this as neat as possible as we chug along here. Okay, so be thinking about your business. What's a core offer you offer, right? What's a way, and sometimes you need to offer a free thing so you can break in and give your core offer. And they have to complement each other, by the way. You need to complement each other. It's very important. So every once in a while you offer your free thing, and this helps build trust and get to that core offer quickly, right? It's very important. Free things are advertised the most. You notice how whenever you watch an info product or watch a commercial on TV for, let's say, copper tone socks, right? Get a pair of copper tone socks for only $19.99. Add a second one for free, And so what they're offering is their lowest tier thing, and they have an upsell available right afterwards. Every good business model has upsell right behind it. You need to have something else you are upselling. You need to have something else you present and say, hey, do you want this too? You have to get them to say no at some point. Super, super, super important. Okay, so let's hop into an exact example, okay? What would the value ladder be for a fitness studio in Houston, Texas? So let's use this example. Okay, I love fitness studios, and it's actually a broad term. They're exploding everywhere. Okay, so when you pick a niche, the reason why I want you to pick a niche is because you're going to build a value ladder that complements each other, that makes it easy for you to systematize the service so that when you start offering these profit maximizers, it's no surprise whenever it comes in their email inbox or whenever you're offering on the phone, right? So you could say, for example, a fitness studio, they all want to compete locally. So what's a fitness studio? A fitness studio is a CrossFit gym. It's an F45 type studio, an Orange Theory, a 9 rounds gym, a yoga studio, a Pilates location. Pick a franchise that gets started every few months, right? There's even like Tough Mudder franchises popping up in Houston, Texas. So there's lists you can look up of just all kinds of different, the cycling studio, Cycle Bar, Rider Studio, all these different places are popping up all over the place, and they're very profitable, and they charge a high subscription. They sell an experience, right? So you need to think about your core offer, your virtual tour, being one client times 2, whatever that number is. So in that fitness studio space, one of my clients, they charge, I think it's $160 a month, right? So you need to charge at least $320 for your core offer. And some of you may think, well, Zach, I've been doing virtual tours forever. I can't charge only $320. It's not enough money. Bro, I know it's not enough money. I'm just showing you a core offer. And you have to have upsells readily available. So an example of a great upsell is Street View, right? Simple. You add on Street View, bam, it's there. It helps their SEO. You start talking about SEO, start discussing marketing. They go, man, this guy's pretty knowledgeable about what's working in the local marketplace, and then you start asking the right questions, like, hey, what's y'all's biggest marketing pain point right now? What's the most important to y'all? They're gonna then reveal to you what they think about the most, right? And in the fitness studio example, I showed an interview of this on the YouTube channel or on the Facebook group. I'll put it on the YouTube channel too. I asked a fitness studio owner, I said, what's something you're always thinking about? He said, I need to get people in the front door, and this will help. Great, awesome. Well, when you get them in the front door, how do you keep them, or how are you getting them there? And he thinks about different ways, and he's talking about different things, and the question he wants to answer all the time is, he said, is they want to know, what is F45? What is it? Because if you think about this from a brand new perspective, this is F45 example I'm showing you, but there's a lot of, that's just a fitness studio franchise. You can put any fitness studio in this example. Because if you look at a sign, you don't know what the sign really means, right? It doesn't say what it is exactly, or if it did, it'd be maybe too long. So sometimes the branding can be just what is this, right? Well, that's data for you, the entrepreneur. So when I started talking to him about different types of lead generation tactics and ideas, he's like, well, do you want to do that for me? This is a very natural conversation, right? When you start showing yourself as an expert, you can offer lead generation as your profit maximizer. So what is lead generation? There's different types. And this is an example of something that a skill set I know how to do, therefore I offered it. You don't offer something you don't have experience in, or at least know how to do it. And if you do offer something that's an expensive price, give a free trial away. Say, hey, let's do this for 10 days. I'll show you how, let's set it up for you. We'll get it to work. And then once it works, then we can talk about, you paying the price of $1,500 a month per client kind of thing. So what I'm talking about is a natural progression from giving value and then asking questions and then learning the skill set based on what they need and then charging a high price for more value, right? The reason why this is important is because you need to learn skill sets that customers actually want. That's super, super important. And you're probably thinking, well, yeah, that sounds so obvious, but truthfully, a lot of us go out and learn skill sets and we're not even sure if our customers want them or not. It's important to ask questions first and then come back later and fulfill on what their questions or needs or pains are. So always ask about pains. So this should it should solve a bigger pain, right? Big pain. So think about this. If you solve a big pain, you can get paid big amounts for it, right? So the bigger the pain, the more money you're gonna make. That is just how business works. The bigger the pain you solve, the more money you're gonna make. Super, super important to understand that concept. So if you think about Cloud Piano, the software company, we have a lower tier offer, we have a monthly subscription, we have a lifetime deal going right now, and we have a continuity program, right? And if I want to get people in our ecosystem, I need to offer things for free so they can learn about us, trust us, right? So we have a free trial available on Cloud Piano, right? So, and I'm giving away free content so you have understand, hey, where does virtual tours fit in my business model, right? Well, it fits almost any business model, but you have to figure out where it does it to your customer. So I'm giving an example of someone I call cold, say, hey, we specialize in virtual tours and lead generation because I know how to do that. So this is what we specialize in. Can I come talk about it? It's a really cool concept. Like, yeah, sure, come by Thursday at 10. Like, yeah, okay, so I'll be there. So I'm there, right? Or I'll show them a demo online or show them a demo on the phone. So I'm kind of getting off in the weeds here, but an example of a profit maximizer and what you actually charge, you could charge a fitness studio $1,500 a month, which is actually a low ticket, to create a lead generation system for them. Once you create this once, you can actually copy and paste it over and over again. So what it does is kind of a cool concept. And I'll give you an example of Ron. I taught him how to do this actually. You can build a landing page. So build a landing page that captures leads and sends them to your client, okay? And it texts the lead a text message, and they get to send an email. And your client gets all their information. And this is something you can set up for them. You can even run advertising, display advertising, so like Facebook ads, etc., and have this landing page capture the leads information, and you can charge a high ticket price for this. Now, this is advanced. You don't just like go start doing this. You have to know what you're doing, understand the tools. But what I'm saying is, the more I talked to customers, the more I understood what their needs, problems, and pains were, and it was much easier for me mathematically to offer a core product that was a lower ticket item, gain trust, get in front of somebody, and then ask about their pains and problems, and offer them an upsell and make a presentation that I thought was cool. They only got to try it a few months for me to be very happy as a provider, right? As a business owner. So an example of this, it's my buddy named Ron. I love Ron. This guy's awesome. He had a lot of different clients already. He was a local marketer, already had virtual tour clients. So a lot of folks that come to us already have clients, or they already have a virtual tour system that they're using, or camera that they're using. They try out Cloud Piano and they like it. Well, what Ron did that I really liked was he would cold call, or he would even walk in and give one photo for free, one pano for free, and just go talk to the people. He ended up having 100 plus, he told me 100 plus clients on Street View. And his upsell was to manage their business page for $100 a month. Well, what happened was Ron called me and said, Zach, use my marker here. Zach, how do I make the most money I can with virtual tours? And I was like, that's the wrong question, but here's what I would do. Here's what I've done before in the past. I said, you need to offer lead generation services because you can charge way more. $100 a month ain't gonna cut it per client. The math doesn't work. But $2,000 a month does work per client, because then, if you think about it, if I get a hold of 100 customers, prospects, 10 of them say yes to my, 10 is a very low number, honestly. But let's say 10 say yes to my virtual tour service, and then I said before, right, 20%. So I got 2 of them who say yes to lead gen. So I got $1,600 a month there. That's $3,200 for my lead gen customers, and I made $3,200 for my virtual tour that I shot for them. So I make $6,400 in a quick month, just getting exposed to 100 or so business owners, all in the same niche. And what you'll notice is when you build these things out, you can just copy and paste them, rinse, repeat. You just got to customize a little bit after a while. So anyways, I'm kind of off on the weeds again, but I'm back to the story. So Ron calls me, asked that question, and I said, okay, you should offer lead gen. Here's how you should do it. And then he calls me back and says, hey, coach me on this. I said, all right, I'll coach you on it, but I got to record all the videos. So he let me record them all, so I got all the content, which is cool. He ended up pitching a couple different, he right away started pitching his previous clients. He already had a list of clients, he had 100 clients already to talk to, because he gave his core offer. They already knew he was, they already trusted him, they already liked Ron. Ron's a likable guy. He priced himself too low, which is an often common problem for a lot of entrepreneurs. Pricing themselves too low. They don't know how much they're worth, right? But rather trying to do the same thing for a higher price, which is hard to do, especially if you have photographers or tour companies out there who are just like, I'll do it for $200 or whatever. You don't want to get in that game, bro. You don't want to get in the pricing game. It's called the spiral into the bottom or whatever, the race to the bottom. You don't want to win the race to the bottom. You want to win the race to the top, bro. But here's how you do that: offering more value. You have to figure out what the profit maximizer is in your business. That's super important. Okay, so he's already got 3 clients interested. He says, hey, I got my solar company who wants to do this now. I said, really? We just talked like for 2 weeks. You ready? Okay, cool. So we set up this lead generation system for him. We worked on it, took a couple calls, and they said, hey, we set it up. In a couple weeks, we had it set up. He runs a couple small ads. Well, first off, his landing page wasn't very good. I had to kind of walk him through that. What to offer his free thing was. So same concept at a lower level. We offered a free thing, and the core offer for a solar company was actually $32,000 solar panels on the roof. He ran a small ad for $100, got 9 leads, and then 3 meetings and 1 sale for his client, and they hired him full time. And the guy's like, just tried to hire him as fast as he could because he built this for him. Really funny story, actually, how fast it all happened. But I told Ron, I said, Ron, I taught you how to build a lead gen system. You can do this, solve a big problem for every solar company in the US, and you're not bound by location. You realize that, right? And he said, oh, I know. I'm already casting the vision. It was really funny. Ron's out of Kansas, so he's helping a Kansas company get more solar leads. And we discussed that more later. But what he thought about right away was how he was very malleable, he was very adjustable. I'll adjust. Tell me what will maximize profits for me. And he was very coachable, and he was willing to learn. And I said, okay, well, I'll teach you this. But he couldn't have done this without virtual tours being his core offer, without having a free thing and then putting in some work. It took time to gain those 100 clients, right? To gain 100 people's trust. That took time. But what's cool was, once you gain some trust and you have a little Rolodex of people, man, it's easy to go out and pitch this type of service, right? So I don't even know how much he's making now per client, but he's doing good. So yeah, that's a direct real life example of a value ladder. I did lead gen for my client named Derek, fitness studio you guys saw. We got hundreds of leads. He has over 200 members now at his studio. Now, it took a year to get 200 members, but do some math. I told you 160 times 200 per month. He's doing good. He's very happy. I'm happy too because I have a case study that works. So I showed Ron my case study from there. I said, hey, here's exactly what I did. You can just copy this. He copied it, and now he's doing well too. Sometimes just like utilizing someone else's really good idea, profit maximizer, makes your life way easier, right? But it takes time to get through these things. Listen, entrepreneur, listen, business owner, listen, human being out there just like me. You have to be patient sometimes with yourself, with the marketplace, with your endeavors in general. Please, please, please don't hear this value ladder concept and just decide, okay, I'm doing this or I'm doing that or I'm doing all these things. Just build it out one at a time. Build one skill set at a time. If you've never built a Street View tour on Google Street View, download the app on your phone and make one. Make one for free if you have to. I like doing free work, but find someone to do it for super cheap. And then you can leverage that first client to that same niche in the rest of your city. If you live in Sacramento, it's a big city. Houston, Texas, big city. The cities around you, right? What's cool is because you're a B2B type provider, you have access to these people, access to their emails. You can build email lists. You can walk in the front door. You can call these people. It's actually not hard to call 100 people. It's not hard to do. This takes time and work and some effort and gosh, some courage. And if you need courage and you feel like you just don't have any courage, that's okay. We all have courage sometimes. Sometimes I walk into a big building and I'm like, what am I doing here? How am I going to do this, right? It's okay. You're a human being. You think, yesterday I was watching baseball, the playoffs, and I used to be a pitcher back in college, and I would go up there to pitch, and I would always feel like, man, I'm just like, wow, I'm so nervous, so much adrenaline's pumping through my body. But then once I would look at that target, look at that glove, I would go to pitch, and man, like after the first pitch, and they called a strike, I was like, all right, I can do this. You're just one strike away from comfort. You're one connection of one customer from really honestly building a business that's $10,000 a month easy. And really, when you get to a certain level, you have to start hiring people and build out systems in place. But really, getting the customers first. Like learn how to build the list, market that list, talk to them, close the sale, and then upsell them, and then offer a highly valuable profit maximizer. When you do that, you will have financial freedom quickly. You won't be wondering, well, how am I going to make it in this virtual tour space? Truth is, maybe virtual tours are just a part of your business. And there's other good parts of it too that can help the business owner. So here is your guiding light. Ask the business owner. Ask this question. What is your number one pain and problem in your marketing right now? Or what is, a question like that will lead them to tell you what they think about every day. You can solve that pain and problem with the virtual tour. Like Derek said in the previous video, he said, Zach, I just want to get folks in the door. How to get them in the door. Because he knows that his product, his studio is awesome and it will sell and he's awesome and he cares. And if people can see that, he's built a really cool community. He's got upsells in his funnel too. They have this cool body scanner thing. They have all kinds of stuff they're doing. But you have to get him in the door first. So how you get in there, right? That should be the question. You're asking yourself: do I have a system in place that gets folks into my ecosystem every day? Because it's just about numbers. That's it. If you have that, then you'll figure out what numbers make it work. And then in the future, you can figure out what inbound strategies, what advertisements to do, what PPC ads to do, what Facebook ads to do, right? To become a true marketing professional. Like when you have these things built out, you can come in the front end and really know how to spend money to systematize the whole process. And then your whole asset becomes very valuable to a buyer. Okay, so that's it for today. I've gone pretty long. This is the value ladder concept. I hope it makes you your next $10,000 quickly. I hope that you're able to fill these in with skill sets you have. If you don't have them, go learn them. And my hope is that it was helpful and it got your brain churning today. So here's the homework. Here's your homework. Draw this out. Draw a ladder. And I want you to plug and play certain things. I want you to pull things out, put things into it, and tell me, if you want to take a picture of it, what is your skill sets? What do you think people would pay more for? And then before you make it your thing on your website or make it your thing in your pitch, go ask somebody. Go talk to them. Here's what I'm considering doing. You can even say, I'm getting started on this too. Are you interested? If they say, yes, I'm interested, how much? You're on to something. That's what I want you to do. So go build one out on paper and then go ask the customer what they think. Hope this is helpful for you guys. Man, if you're not a Cloud Panel Pro Plus member just yet, the time is now. Get on there, homie. Subscribe, upgrade yourself, upgrade your life, and then get plugged into our community. Listen, I'm here to help you. I can't run your business for you. I just can't do it. But I'm providing tools and information to help you run yours. So do your best. Be great. Love you guys.